Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, we are driving the Audi and it's not absurdly loud. So yeah, here you can see the view. We are driving, the speed is working. We're also just checking the temperatures. If the temperatures, everything is fine. And then yeah, so here we go. So while we're driving, the issue that I have is definitely the gearbox. The links and everything are just not correct. Even as you can see now, it's supposed to be in third, but yeah, that's actually fourth or second. I'm not 100% sure, but the gearing is a complete disaster. First gear is down, reverse is also down and left. Just apologies, as I'm still driving as well. So yeah, let's get home. I'll show you what they've done, and then we'll have a closer look at everything. Let's just get safe first. Now that we are back home, I did put it on charge, and then there's the downpipe that they've done, including the wastegate pipe also going into entering into the downpipe. Actually, that's what I wanted. Fifi wanted me for it to fire down, so you can see flames at the back and at the bottom, but I wanted it to fire all the way back. So I'm not gonna remove the downpipe yet. There's a few things that I want to do, but I'm not gonna do that yet. And then also, once you get back, come to the back, you'll also notice that I do have some nice tail pieces on it as well. And then you can also see the 76mm that is connecting to the exhaust, and then they're also splitting into two sections. So our exhaust is done. I'm happy with that. Then we still need to come into the inside, still sort out the gearbox. I'm not going to be too worried about that. Also need to clean up the car, as we are basically done. So the thing that I want to focus on today is that we still have an issue with the boosting. So as you know, we don't have a boost controller connected to the wastegate. And then also we can't monitor the boost. So that is the big thing that I'm going to focus on today. So here's our boost controller. I don't want to put it inside the car because the main reason for that is once you lose a race, you've got that expectancy of just turning up the boost. So I'm just going to install it here in the engine bay, here where it's nice and neatly. And then once they dyno the car, they can adjust it, and then from there they can also just put it on a boost level we want it, and then just leave it there. I should on a later stage go to electrical boost controller, so that you can have a high boost and a low boost, but for now this is what we're going to use. So what I'm going to start with is by mocking up my holes, see exactly where I want it, and then just drill everything, put some rev nuts in it, and then mount the boost controller. Let's get that done, put you on a time lapse so that we can continue with the plumbing. We have our boost controller installed, where you can adjust it once the hood is open. It's nice and clean and also out of the way. So next up, what we're going to do, I'm going to do the plumbing for the boost controller. I'll show an image here on the screen where you'll be able to see the one that I've used. So let's get this plumbing quickly sorted out as well. So this is how far I've came so far. From the top of the wastegate goes into the boost controller, and then from the boost controller T-pieces into the bottom of the wastegate right there, and then from there it goes into the pipe, comes all around here, all around, and then now I just need to T-piece it in here. I believe that is the size that I took, so I'll just double check, and then just piece it in there. And then from there, I probably need to drill a hole so that my boost gauge can go into the back of the firewall right here, and then we can continue. So let me finish up with that section. So, as you can just excuse the wiring, we did just test it just to make sure that it is working. So everything is, the gauge is working 100%. So now I will be going in the inside and then just wiring it up nice and properly. Before I want to wire the gauge, I'm still busy with the rest of the things. So what we're going to do now, before I do the wiring, I want to move and remove this whole vent right here. Then I will be replacing it with this whole vent that I've installed now here for our boost gauge. So all I'm going to do now is just take a drill a hole there at the bottom so that I can get my wiring to go through it, and then we can put our boost gauge in here. Now that we have that with the hole drilled in, I also just fed my wire through there as well. As you can see how I'm pushing it in. Then we can just connect our boost gauge, and then with that connected, we can just feed the wiring through there properly, and then we can just fit the boost gauge. There we go. There, our boost gauge now is installed. It's not connected yet. The reason for that, I still want to do my other gauges as well, and then I'll just use the same wiring that I used for this gauge to connect all of them, for the negative, the positive, and then the remote that switches the gauge on for the wire that it is. So while we're busy with that, let's somewhat fit the rest of the gauges that we have as well, and then we will just finish up with the wiring once all of that is done. So the next gauge that I've got is going to be for this vent right here, and then the gauges that I'm going to use for this will be oil temp and oil pressure. So let me show you guys what we're going to do here. Now we can just pop this one off, take this one out, and then seems like I'll have to drill a hole through here as well, as there's no space for the wiring. And then we have these pods that come direct fit in there, just like that. Look how nice and beautiful that's going to look. So the gauges that we're going to use here is oil temp and oil pressure. So let's get that installed. So there now we have boost, we have oil temp, we also have oil pressure. And then the last but not least one that I want to install is this one. Now this one comes here on top, just like that. I think I must turn around. There we go. As you can see there, that it's nice and flush. And all I'll have to go and do now is drill a small hole, put some bolts here on the top. There's 1, 2, 3 that goes through there. and then it's bolted on there nice and properly. And then the gauges that we're going to install here is going to be AFR and then also voltmeter, and then that should be it for us for our gauges. So let's get this one installed. Now, this is basically the view that we are going to have when we drive the car. So we have boost, oil temp, oil pressure, AFR, voltmeter. We have our fuel level gauge that's working. We have temperature that's working, ref counter, speedo, and then we can still see in the middle screen. And then still we have the kilometers and the time and the date and all of those things that we can still see. So yeah, I think that's going to look really, really naughty as soon as we are done with the wiring. So yeah, next up, now that we have all our gauges installed, now that we need to do is connect the wiring so that everything can work. I think the only thing that's not going to work now is the AFR, because we still need to install the AFR sensor, and then as well as the oil pressure, because I need to get a new sensor as it's an old gauge. So I've accidentally broken the sensor. I need to get a new sensor, but for now we can just get everything to work, to come on, and then yeah, I'll just do the sensor wires, let it go to the front, and then I'll hook it up as soon as we have received our sensors. So yeah, let's get on a time lapse, because this is going to take a while, so that I can finish up with all the wiring for the gauges to switch on. As soon as I switch on my ignition, then the gauges will also come on. So let's get to that. So here is our final result. Just excuse how it looks. I know it's still very dear mekaar. So now if we get into the car, I want to see if I can remove, there's a foot thing here that I also want to see if I can remove this thing on the next video. But anyway, so then you come, close the door, the lights goes off automatically, and then switch on the ignition. And yes, that is how it looks. So I still have to do the sensors. As you can see, the voltmeter is going to work due to that. Well, it's the voltmeter, and then the other 4 sensors I still have to connect it. But yeah, I'm gonna do that on the next video. Then we will be able to have those readings as well. Then that will be sorted. That will be 100%. So at least our gauges is on. It almost looks like a aeroplane in the inside, with the lights here, and then all of those lights, and then the lights on the steering wheel, as well as the lights here by the radio. It looks really, really good. Even here, if you can, as you can see, notice here that this is also working. Basically just remove the vents and then install the boost gauge right there. So you can get the boost gauges, any 3D printing stuff you can get by cnccarvery. I'll put the details down in the description so you can have a look at them. He also has the design for the gauges, so if you're looking for the specific gauges, you can go and have a look. You can just go and speak to him, and then he can print it for you. It's actually really good. Everything is just a fit. I didn't have any issues with anything. It's only this top one that I had to clear it out a bit in the inside. for the gauges to fit, but otherwise than that, it's 100%. There's nothing wrong with it. So it just works perfectly. So yeah, we still have to connect the gauges, connect the sensors, and then once the sensors are connected, then we will be able to read everything. And then our boost controller is now also connected. I'll show you guys a bit more in detail in the next video. It is dark now, so it's not really gonna help, but I'll give you guys more details about that. And then yeah, we're probably gonna take the car for dyno end of January, beginning of February, maybe around there. So it still gives us enough time to go and look at the small things, just to make sure that everything is right, because we don't want to take it to the dyno and then they have issues with some stuff there. So it's rather better that we just see what we can do. Any small things, any small issues that we have, that we can get it sorted, we can get it fixed. At least now we also have gauges, so that when they dyno the car, they can also have a look at the gauges, not only on the management itself. It will give them a better reading as well for reading from the gauges. Just for in case you wondered which gauges we have installed, once again we have our voltmeter, we have our AFR, we have oil pressure, there we go, oil pressure, we have our oil temperature, and then we have our boost gauge. So that's the most important gauges for me to have. Personally, I would actually like to get a fuel pressure gauge. That's also something nice to have, but yeah, for now I don't believe it's really necessary to get it, as we're also not running a fuel pressure regulator, and we're also not in a racing car. But yeah, it's gonna be a very strong street car that we're gonna have. We're gonna go for shows and drag racing events and a family car, and it's just gonna be a lot of things for one build. But yeah, for now we just want to get it to drive, get it on the dyno, make sure that everything is fine, and then maybe do a trip with the car, see how everything holds up, just get some kilometers on it, just to make sure everything is nice and proper. And then maybe from there we'll start going to events. Well, we should go to events after it's dynoed, everything is sharp. But yeah, I don't think the drag strip, we will see it quite soon with the car, because like I mentioned, I just want to make sure everything is 100% before we go to a track or anything in that matter. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. You must have a lovely day further. I'll check you guys in the next video. I'm super stoked for the next video, for what we're going to do. And then be safe, look after yourself. I'll see you later. Ciao.